The following video was captured and uploaded to YouTube by a user deemed as Mr. Spouter, who doesn't usually record any paranormal videos. He had been living in the same house for over 5 years and had never experienced anything that he would consider to be strange or paranormal. As we all know though, trends and patterns always come to an end, and it was definitely the end of this one. It was 3 a.m. at night when it was filmed, and no one can explain it to this day. Take a look.
Something banging then. Something was banging. I'm talking to myself. Something was just banging. Like, on these stairs. Dusty as fuck. I'm beating a pussy. Go on, you fucking pussy. What the fuck? Is that a neighbour's one? What was that? What the fuck? Fucking something there. What the fuck?
Now, during the clip, you couldn't actually see what happened to Mr. Spouter, but he made sure to explain it in a later upload. He claimed that something or someone pinched him as he was looking down the stairs, but to no surprise, he didn't convince anyone and was called a faker. Regardless though, that was only 50% of the video, and something much more convincing was showcased.
Freaking myself out, man. Fucking hell. Calm down. What the fuck was that? What's that? What the fuck? Something up there. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I can't quite decipher what the item was, but something slid across the cupboard by its own accord. This must have been impossible without any strings attached to it, but no matter how far we zoom in, nothing can be seen attached to it. This was 100% the act of a ghost, but feel free to argue against that in the comments. These two women were looking to sell their house and move into a new one, so they decided to go around the area in search of a one-floor cottage. In the clip, you're about to be exposed to the duo searching an old house that was very cheap on the market, but would take some upgrading. Fortunately, they both enjoyed decorating and transforming houses though, so it would have been no problem if they actually followed through with the purchase. Why didn't they? Well, have a watch and find out for yourself.
Não me acostumei mais.
Mesmo sem querer vir.
Essas coisas existem. Meu pai.
Olha, tá vendo aí, ó. Faz tempo. Misericórdia. Ai, pera ainda. Eu vi.
Mulher, que foi isso? Pelo amor de Deus.
Tava balançando aí.
Ai,
Ô, Tico.
ai.
Olha,
Ui. Mulher.
olha. Misericórdia ali, ó. Eita, meu Jesus. Eu vou dizer um negócio, viu? Olha. Eu vou dizer a tu. Eu tô toda arrupiada.
Meu Deus do céu, o que foi aquilo, mulher? Tu viu?
Understandably, the duo sprinted out of the house as quickly as they possibly could and confirmed that they were not going to be buying the cottage. When the owner asked them why this was the case, they showed him the video and he was genuinely in shock. The house had never seen anything like that in the past, and he apologized for putting it on the market in that state. They accepted this apology and left. If you were to visit a haunted house, what would be the last room you would consider visiting? Let me know in the comments, but I know that there is only one correct answer to such a question: the basement. The basement is known for being the epicenter of paranormal activity in most places because it is so tucked away. The majority of haunted videos come from this type of room, and that statistic keeps on becoming stronger, fortified by the following video. It was taken at 10 p.m. and the filmer, Joshua, heard noises coming from the basement whilst he was tucking his daughter into her bed. He was brave. He went to investigate.
Hello? I'm gonna turn on the light. All right? Hello? 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 Okay. I heard something. Nothing? Is anyone there? Whoa, Jesus!
Weirdly, the closet slid across the floor by itself, and it was clear that nothing triggered this. The fact it was clear helped that conclusion come around. However, there was no concrete evidence that this was the case. It just kind of made sense, so the family stuck with it. Due to this, they couldn't get anyone to come and try to get rid of the ghost because there was no real evidence of one being there, at least not during that current moment. A few days later, at the exact same time, which was already odd enough, Joshua heard more noises from down in the basement whilst he was upstairs and decided to take a look again. This time, he filmed something much more severe.
The following footage was recorded after hearing voices from upstairs. Please be advised, the images that you see may be disturbing. I heard some noises again. Hello? No way. Oh! Let's watch that again, here, and slow it down. Here is a close-up image of the figure that was seen walking across the doorway at the bottom of the stairs. This image can still not be explained.
It doesn't even take a zoom in to notice that there was a shadow figure walking past the door, clearly trying to freak Joshua out. It succeeded if that was its mission. After seeing this, he locked the door to the basement with a padlock and wooden barriers before finally contacting the church to come and help. This was the last update we were given. Lamine, a young boy in college known for sharing his name with soccer player Lamine Yamal, was left home alone by his parents one night as they wanted to go to a hotel and have some alone time. They had been talking about having another child for quite some time, and Lamine really wanted a brother, so he was happy that this was finally going to come about. Little did any of them know, though, that this would turn out to be the creepiest night of Lamie's life so far. It was 4 a.m. when this video was captured, and he had been woken up by the noise of a rattling door. Lamine was in fear because perhaps burglars were taking advantage of his parents not being home. However, after what was about to happen, he was wishing that that was the actual case.
Estaba jugando a la PC. Si escuchan, literalmente me estaban golpeando la puerta. Me están golpeando la puerta, mejor dicho. Voy a ver todo. Miren, no hay nadie del otro lado. No hay nadie del otro lado. Tengo las luces prendidas como me dijeron, tengo todo ahora. quiero que vean que acá no hay nadie. Tengo todo absolutamente. Se cayó. Grabé del otro lado y todo. Escucha esto. Se escucha el ruido, no sé.
After opening the door, he found that nobody was on the other side, and when he decided to just go and play on his PC until his parents came home, he heard a bang. Understandably, for his young age, he ran to his bedroom and hid under the covers until he fell fast asleep. His parents arrived home the next day, and nothing similar happened since. Security cameras are a useful device set up in most buildings across the globe. They excel in deterring thieves and criminals in general from doing things that they shouldn't, because if they do, it'll all be on camera and hence it becomes easy to bust them. There is one type of species that is not intimidated by the presence of these cameras though, and it happens to be the creatures from the paranormal world. Ghosts live in no fear of security cameras because they are invisible and don't pay the consequences even if they do get caught in the act. The one in the following video definitely took advantage of this.
Hittek el már megint mi történt a mai live alatt. Konkrétan a kutya fél órán át valamit ugatott a nappaliba, egy árnyat, konkrétan vissza kellett nézni a lakásban a kamerákat, hogy mi az Isten volt, nézzétek meg ti is, nagyon para, azóta Zafi be van fosva. Már konkrétan több mint fél éve érzékeljük ezeket a szellemjárásokat, és fogalmam sincs, hogy mit csináljunk. Nagyon para, srácok.
At first, you could see the dog barking at utter nothingness, which left everybody in a state of confusion. However, just moments after a shadow glided across the room and the chair moved by itself. Very spooky indeed. After reviewing this footage, the woman, Sienna, refused to believe that it was a ghost and got on with life like nothing happened at all. She would regret this very soon though. Over the next few days, not much happened, other than the fact the entrance to one of her storage areas fell off down the stairs. This was strange in itself, because it was screwed on very well, but Sienna didn't pick up on the oddness about it. She spoke to her boyfriend and asked him if he could fix it for her, but he said she should take a look inside first. For all they knew, there could have been a squatter making the place their home, and they didn't want to deal with anything like that. Listening to her boyfriend, Sienna took her phone camera and investigated. What she found was definitely unexpected.
És az esett le ide?
Igen, az ott volt lent.
Hát ilyen szervizelagút szerintem.
Ja, de ilyen több is van a lakásban.
A szobába is.
Meg a madaras szobába is van.
Le tudsz szedni, vagy?
Nagyon hideg jön, de nem látok be. Szerintem fel kell emelni.
Magassan van. Lerakom a kamerát, ezt felemellek. Na mi van? De látszik? Látszik semmi. Lakik ott benne valaki, tudod. Az mi? Az micsoda? Ez fel van akasztva oda, ennyi.
Ez egy papa.
És látszik valami.
Itt is van egy, de ezt nem tudjuk kinyitni. A stúdióban is van egy ilyen pici ajtó.
For some very odd reason, 3 sticks were hung by string at the entrance, and the last time they entered, there was nothing like this. Something of that sort cannot happen naturally, so someone must have tied them together. The real question beckoning their minds now was who. There was only one way to find the answer to such an open-ended question though. The couple had to be brave and enter the secret room together to give it a proper search. They grabbed a torch and their phones before clambering into the tiny hole. This is what happened inside.
Vettünk 2 zseblámpát, hogy lássunk a járatba, és azt mondtátok, hogy nem mozdítsuk el a voodoo papát, úgyhogy ahhoz nem fogunk hozzányúlni. Én nem akarok előre menni.
Akkor megyek én előtte meg, ezt mögöttem és világítasz. Akkor nem érünk hozzá.
Csak óvatosan.
Yes? Itt van valami előttünk.
Itt el tudunk menni?
Szerintem, ja. De vigyázz a tiszta pókáló innen. Nagyon szűk a hely. Aha. Mi volt ez?
Nézd, baba, annyira hideg van, hogy látszik a leheletem.
Azt a kurva.
Úristen, mi az ott? Világíts gyorsan oda.
Hol?
Ott.
Jézusom, menjünk.
Hol lesz a voodoo baba? Eltűnt.
De madzag még itt van. Foglald össze.
Nem tudom, hogy ti láttátok a videón, de volt ott valaki. És a voodoo babát sehol sem találtuk. Mióta kijöttünk, Zafi folyamatosan ugatja a járatot.
Strangely, a pale-looking object dashed into cover once they pointed their flashlight on it. Unfortunately, it wasn't visible for long enough to uncover what it was, but be my guest and let everyone know in the comments if you think you have an answer. Making things even more unsettling, the dog would continuously bark at the entrance night and day, which made things difficult. Sleeping at night was very hard, and enjoying the daytime was even worsely barricaded. Not as badly as the entrance to the secret room though. After realizing that something was living in there, the boyfriend took his hammer and some wooden planks and shut the door tight, making sure that even if a human was on the other side, it wouldn't be able to break itself free. This plan backfired horrendously though, and here's why. Somehow, the spirit managed to escape the room and cause havoc all around the household, which confirmed to the couple that they were indeed being haunted by something. This had never happened to them before, and they had no idea how to react to it, and they still don't to this day. In this next encounter, a mother had left her dog alone in the house as she was working her day job. However, since her work was very demanding, her shifts were extremely long, so her eldest son, called Oscar, had to go and feed the pet. For a few minutes after entering the building, everything was okay, and Oscar managed to pour the dog's dry beef into her bowl. However, this sense of security was going to end very shortly.
Okay, so it's doing it again. That switch down there is on. You can see it past my shaking. This one is on, okay? It's... Mom. See what I mean? It's fucking... You can hear it. You fucking... Mom, nope.
Weirdly, the lights in the main hallway of the house started turning themselves on and off without anyone touching the switches. Now, in most cases, this could easily be excused as an electrical error that could be fixed by an expert, but after zooming in deeper, this wasn't the case. If you look closely, you can see that the switches were actually moving, meaning that someone or something was controlling the lights. The family still has no idea what it was, but the only logical answer is the act of a ghost. This man was sleeping on the couch because he had friends over and decided to let them use the beds. It was roughly 1 a.m. when the group decided to go to sleep, and the man decided to light a candle next to the couch to act as a nightlight, which he usually had in his normal bedroom. Little did he know, though, that something else was in the room with him, and it didn't like the tiny light source. The ghost started to repeatedly slam the door in anger, and after a moment of confusion, the man realized what the problem was. He blew out the candle on the counter straight after this footage ended, and according to him, after he completed this action, he was safe. It's unknown why this ghost decided to give the man warning signs before causing havoc, but it was definitely on the nicer side of spirits. For the past few months, a family had all reported paranormal activity in the same house, in the exact same locations. The thing which made this so difficult for them was that nobody believed their stories, as they never caught anything on camera, to the point that they believed they'd never catch it. In a desperate attempt for proof, the mother decided to take her phone out and record for 5 minutes at random instances. Did her plan work? Well, I guess we're about to find out.
Thought someone was in my house.
After sitting on the couch watching the television for some time, the mother stood up and did one of her recording sessions. For the last couple of days, she had caught nothing while doing this, but she was about to strike gold. Strangely, the door closed by its own accord, and as unbelievable as this is, no one else was inside the house with her. Now, since this had been happening for months now, she was presumably unfazed, and if anything happy that she got her evidence. However, this isn't all that would be captured that day. On the exact same evening, once the whole family arrived home, the entity made another appearance, and this proved that it wasn't hiding from the cameras anymore. Take a look.
So the TV turned off right now by itself. This has been happening too.
Nah, dude. Something like that, dude, you gotta... I feel like I've seen that before. You gotta... Whenever since I was young, you gotta, like, call it out or something. Like... You just gotta call it, like
creepy,
literally, bro, just like, is anybody here? Is anybody here? Like... No, you just gotta... Anybody here, throw...
What was that? I think it was upstairs. Sounded like a big old bang. This has been happening, bro. Ooh, it's dark as fuck up here. Oh, dude, it looks creepy. It looks fucking creepy up here, bro. Oh, shit.
Turn off down here.
Go. I don't want to be up here.
The light just turned off down here.
Holy fuck.
The light over there just turned off. I'm not even joking.
Should we go?
Yeah, I think we should.
Let's just go.
We should just get out of here. The light just turned off down here.
Holy fuck. Nah, dude.
Yeah. The light over there just turned off. I'm not even joking.
Should we just go?
Yeah, I think we should leave.
Let's just
We should just get out of here. Honestly.
Let's just go.
Honestly, I'm not even grabbing nothing. I'm just gonna go. Can we just go?
Now you have to give credit to this family because they handled the situation in the best way possible. Most spirits feed off the fear of their victims, and this group refused to make it more powerful. Regardless of how the situation was handled though, it was extremely creepy, and no one on the internet has been able to solve it since. Maybe you can though, and feel free to give it a shot in the comments. On July 12th of 2019, a boy called Billy had one of the worst experiences of his entire life. He had been raised in a deeply religious family of Catholic Christians and was blessed at a young age. But based on the following video, you wouldn't know that at all. One of the kid's first gifts that came from his baby shower was a small wooden cross that was hung up in his room. This gift was meant to protect him from evil and things alike, but it may well have failed. Now, the child never told his parents the reason behind this reaction, but it was likely due to a past trauma or hatred. One of the leading theories is that he must have watched a film or show which involved the cross and was spooked out from it, but we'll never know. For all we know, an evil spirit could have been controlling the boy, but luckily he was raised out of this and is no longer in fear when he sees the object. The upcoming footage came from the downstairs living room of Tanya, who was a single mother of 2 children. It took place during the afternoon, while the children were still at school, and Tanya was getting ready to collect them when the dog, Bailey, started acting very strange. At first, Tanya had no idea whatsoever as to why the dog was acting this way, but all would be revealed very shortly.
Okay, so Bailey, come here. She's acting really strange today. I don't know what's going on with her. What is it, Baze? I don't see anything. Bailey? What? What is she looking at? Bailey? What was that? Did you just hear that? Bailey? She keeps looking over here. I don't know what her deal is, but something's not right. God, what is that noise? Bailey, what is it? What the fuck? Oh my God, did that chair just move? Oh my God. Oh shit.
Out of nowhere, the chair underneath the cabinet jolted back in the direction of Tanya, and this understandably freaked her out. What made this event even weirder was the fact that Bailey didn't bark at the sudden noise, and she was usually a loud animal. The chair moving and Bailey acting up caused Tanya to piece the clues together and assume that this was the act of a ghost. In fear, she quickly attached the pet to her leash and went to pick up the children before being extra cautious when they arrived home. Supposedly, nothing happened in the house since, but with a lack of updates, it isn't confirmed that the spirit has left. On an unknown evening after midnight, an ambulance crew were returning from a rescue when something spooked them to the maximum. They had just aided someone who was hurt on the sidewalk and were on the way back to the hospital to call it a night. However, little did they know that the night was only just getting started.
Alright, so I'm not sure how to talk about this, but well, first off, I've been an EMT just for a little bit, and like, I ain't never experienced nothing like this. So as we driving back to base, I swear I seen a face in the rearview mirror. Like,
Tell me as soon as you can.
I need to turn this engine off though, cause like, we're gonna be stranded out here.
Yeah, as soon as possible. Hey, thank you.
I'm not trying to go back near this truck.
For some strange reason, the man quickly jumped out of the ambulance as if he saw something in the vehicle with him, and shortly after he did this, we found out why. Somehow, the back doors of the ambulance managed to swing open on their own accord, which really freaked the driver out. This wasn't all the ghost wanted to do though. After the man sprinted back to his colleague in the distance again, they both watched the vehicle from a distance. It was at this moment that the spirit struck again.
Hey, on it quick. No. I don't know if you see it, but can y'all see that back door? Like, it just, oh shit. Like, it just flew open, like. Oh. Nah, what the Can y'all see it? Nah, hell no. Fuck that. Nah.
If looked closely at, the ambulance's rear window suddenly has movement behind it, and it appears to be a black figure. It was well known that a patient had recently suffered their fatality in the back of this very ambulance, and many people speculated that this is what the duo encountered that night. This theory is very likely true. Sometime roughly 3 years ago, a young couple called Thomas and Kaylee were staying at an Airbnb that they believed to be haunted. This house was over 300 years old and hosted several people who lost their lives while living there. The perfect backstory for a spooky location. However, despite rumors, real evidence had never been captured. Thomas and Kaylee wanted to gather this and officially prove that the place was paranormal so that the Airbnb could be shut down. And surprisingly, despite everyone doubting them, they actually found something weird. It's important to note that before this incident, they had been sleeping in the Airbnb for a full week and no problems at all had occurred. However, it's believed that they did something to trigger a haunting, and they explain this pretty well in the video.
And this whole time I'm getting ring notifications that there is motion in my attic. And mind you, we moved the camera to this small room off of the attic. So like the timing right now is a little crazy. Thomas!
Strangely, after moving the Ring camera to a different location, it suddenly started noticing motion in the room. The odd factor is that when reviewing the footage, nothing could be seen moving, which is a common occurrence when a ghost is in presence. Little did she know though that this spirit hadn't finished its game. Once she went to sleep that night, she woke up to hundreds of new Ring doorbell notifications. Except this time, there was a big difference. The motion was actually visible, so she could tell what was going on, and to say it freaked her out would be a major understatement. Despite everyone in the house being fast asleep, the door opened and closed for hours on end, which is a phenomenon which science just cannot explain. After seeing this, Kaylee got Thomas to padlock the door, since the room didn't have much of a use anyway. They haven't suffered any bother since, except a dragged argument. Kaylee believed that Thomas was on the other side of the door playing a prank on her, but this simply doesn't make sense, because why would he agree to padlock the door closed? This is a mystery that will likely never be solved. In the following video, a group of teenagers were having a sleepover together and everything was running very smoothly. They were staying up late like all young lads would do in this situation, but things got weird very quickly. Jacob, the oldest boy in the group, claimed to have started hearing strange noises from downstairs, and in an act of fear, he got the host to call their mother. He told her about what was going on and that they suspected a break-in had happened. What they did next would be considered stupid by most.
You're upstairs in your room?
Yeah, we're in my room right now.
Okay, make sure you lock the door then. I'm gonna come home. I should be home in about 10 minutes. I need you to stay calm though, okay?
Okay,
So calm, quiet, keep the door locked. Alright, do not go out of the room whatsoever. I'm gonna come home, I'll be there 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna call the cops on the way home too.
The cops? No, Mom, why do we have to get the cops?
We're going to just make sure everybody's safe and they can get there faster than I can. I'll scope it out and make sure that nobody's there.
Okay,
or
it's
if there's
fine.
somebody
Okay.
there, they can have them.
Okay.
Alright, I'll see you soon. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
After making the dumb decision to go out and investigate the scene, their camera picked up an odd motion once they turned the lights on. This movement was so minimal that none of the boys saw it until reviewing the footage. Luckily, since you're watching this video, you can witness it zoomed in with slow motion, and the way it glided was not normal. However, due to none of them picking up this phenomenon, the boys continued to adventure and found something even stranger. According to the boy who led the search, he saw a human-like figure in the corner of the room, and his body instinctively entered flight mode. They all ran as quickly as they could back into the host's bedroom and waited for the cops to arrive, and soon enough, they made their appearance.
Did it sound like glass? Was it metal? What did it sound like?
It was just like a big thud, and then like the glass shattered, but after that we just stayed upstairs.
So you heard glass shattering?
Yeah.
You didn't see it?
No, we stayed.
No, the glass. You didn't see it?
They searched the entire house and found nothing which led them to believe that this was all just a big prank. They left very quickly. Luckily, the mother was trusting in her son and believed he had seen what he claimed. He didn't get into any trouble, and the lads couldn't get to sleep after this. Not that they would have anyways. The Cortez family were one of the most normal groups of people you could ever imagine. Nothing interesting ever happened in their life other than the odd outing, so they would be the last family you'd expect to see featured on this channel. In the following video, the father of the family was staying up late at night to do some work, when all of a sudden he felt something very off that he couldn't describe. In response to this, he decided to go and investigate downstairs, and what happened was unbelievable. It's important to note that the family was indeed religious and had a wall widespread with crosses for that reason. Whatever caused the following to happen likely hated that fact.
Vamos a ver qué sucede porque esto está muy cabrón. Ya todos están dormidos, a ver. No mames. Es una lámpara que tengo aquí. Se está moviendo bien cabrón. Están las cruces. Chinga. Vamos a ver qué sucede porque esto está muy cabrón. Ya todos están dormidos, a ver. No mames. Es una lámpara que tengo aquí. Se está moviendo bien cabrón. Están las cruces. Chinga.
Strangely, something from the cross display collapsed to the ground without warning, and nobody was there who could have triggered this to happen. Considering this was the act of a spirit, and it decided to tamper with a wall of religious art, it led the Cortez family to believe that they were being visited by a demon, but they never got any more evidence after that. Now, in a recent video on the channel, we delved into an adventure by Karim, who somehow found himself in a terrible situation. To summarize, he had become lost and found himself at an abandoned building where he was continuously being led to this little girl's room. During his time inside this room, he had seen some very disturbing things, but none were quite bad enough to make him turn around and try to escape. He was given enough warnings. It was time to give Karim the fright of his life.
Otra vez ruido en la pieza de mi hija. Podrido de los sonidos, los ruidos. Paren un poco, viejo, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué es eso? La concha. Yo había apagado la luz de ahí. Oh, esto me da muchísimo miedo.
The worst part about that piece of footage was most definitely the noises that the ghost was making. It was whimpering like a little girl, and like we debunked in the last video, this made perfect sense. All around the room were boxes with the name Rebecca on them, which made it very obvious that it used to be the room of a little girl. Perhaps the ghost haunting Karim in this specific moment was that girl, but that's just a theory. After experiencing this, Karim decided to take a step back and have a breather before he entered the building one last time. He wanted to gather as much evidence as possible about the place, and fortunately, he managed to get a tiny bit more clip.
Estoy solo en mi casa y pasa esto. Si tienes miedo, no lo mires. Al final algo intenta atacarme.
After plucking up the courage to re-enter the building, Karim was greeted by much more demented sounds. Last time he could compare the sounds to something, but this time around they were indescribable, almost like they came from a mythical creature of some sort. Understandably, this was enough to send Karim running to safety, and he eventually came across a main road. He held his hand out until someone pulled over, and he asked them to call his friend to come and pick him up. Luckily, he did. Karim will never walk in that same direction again. Who knows what the spirit would do to him next time? Dogs, as well as cats, are known for having a sense that humans don't have. The sense to visualize beings from the paranormal world. There are countless videos on the internet of families, cute little pets, barking at absolute nothingness for hours on end, and even staring at seemingly walls. A lot of people believe that this is simply an act of boredom and an attempt to keep themselves entertained, but that's just foolish. It's spirits, and if the following video doesn't convince you, then I don't know what will.
That was hella weird. There's literally no way that door just opened by itself. Yo, like, I really don't get freaked out, but that was really just... That door has a keypad lock on it. Like, and it's actually hard to get in. Dutch, where are you going? Don't leave me. There's like... What? Why did you just jump like that? Why did... Baby! Y'all, do you see her? What the fuck is going on?
For some strange reason, the dog started barking behind the door, and it looked very stiff. When a dog is stiff, it usually means that it is worried or frightened by something, and whatever was behind the door was likely the cause for this. What worried me was the fact that the poor dog was looking so high up. Whatever that thing was, it must have been massive, and the woman would be insane to not call up the local priest for the job. Let me know what you think about this scenario in the comments, but trust me, I am more than certain that something spiritual was enjoying her garden. CCTV is one of the best installments that someone can install into their home because they are so useful at deterring crime. They can help people look back at footage and see exactly what happened as many times as they would like to, which is huge in catching criminals in the act. However, in the upcoming clip, the woman decided to do this in order to try and find out who caused this phenomenon to happen. To her dismay, this is what she found on the camera.
What the fuck? Come here. What the fuck?
Literally no one. Somehow the curtain moved by its own accord, and the faint whisper of the words, "Get out," echoed next to the camera. this was most definitely the act of something from the paranormal world, but the lady who got spooked by it wasn't able to accept that this was the case. She hired people to dig through everything and try to find any trace of someone or something being there with her that night. But no matter how much money she splashed on these companies, none of them came back with any turnaround. She spent upwards of $300 before finally giving up on the search and deeming herself as crazy. Despite all of that, she still doesn't believe in ghosts. This security guard called Shane was working a night shift at the hospital when one of, if not the creepiest things of his life, happened there and then. According to Shane, the wheelchair in the corridor started periodically spinning at around 2 a.m. and had been for a few weeks. However, no one else on the staff team believed that this story was true. On this fateful night, he took it upon himself to capture the drama unfold and truly prove that he wasn't going crazy, and prove he did, because after this video, no one could deny him.
See, I fucking don't. No.
As if this piece of content wasn't already unsettling enough, that was the wheelchair ridden by an ex-patient called Sheila, who sadly passed away a few weeks prior. And remember what Shane said about the wheelchair moving, starting at around that time. Regardless of a ghost haunting their corridors, the staff get on with their day-to-day tasks, and it became tradition to say hi to Sheila once you walked past the corridor. They did their best to save her, and it was very saddening to see her death. On the other hand, refreshing to know that she was still living the life. On October 12th of 2017, a Spanish man by the name of Andre was home alone in the living room when he managed to accidentally get something on his camera. He was recording a funny Snapchat for his group chat of friends when suddenly the topic of the video took a huge drift for the worst. Andre described after this event that he would never go near his rhino ornament ever again, and after taking a look, you won't hesitate to agree with his decision, so go on.
Amigos, son las 1:26 de la madrugada y estoy solo. Ya van 3 veces que me tocan la puerta a mi casa y relativamente pues yo estoy solo, pero pues la verdad es que sí me da miedo. La neta no sé ni qué onda en mi casa y pues sí me da un chingo de miedo. Les juro. No mames, vete a la verga. No mames, no mames. Vete a la verga. No, neta, vete a la verga. Se acaba de caer esta madre. No mames. No mames.
What made this rather odd was the fact that the rhino landed perfectly and didn't shatter in the slightest. It was a very fragile piece of art, and the seller warned the family to be careful with it. It made absolutely zero sense that it managed to fall from such a height without even a single chip. The leading theory to explain this is that the ghost behind the event quickly placed the rhino on the ground so that no real gravitic potential energy was built up, hence why it didn't lash out when it hit the floor and exploded. It was a close call for the ornament regardless. It was on an online selling website just hours later. In the following video, a woman is sitting in the living room watching her hyper-realistic human dummy that her ex purchased for her. She was in the process of selling it because of how weird it actually was. However, I don't think the dummy was too fond of that idea.
This thing just moved.
Boy, all the talking heads would have been screaming about the Dallas Cowboys and sticking fork in this organization. So again, kudos to the Cowboys going on the road, getting a good win. Let's see how they react. There's a saying in golf, there's no pictures on the scorecard. If you're Dallas, you don't care if it's by 5 or it's going to be like, you're just happy that you moved to 2 or 2. The injury to Parsons, and we don't know anything at this point, he just left by a car with a shoe off. How do you assess what that man is? The defense was struggling, but it's a little bit better if he's out of the team. I mean, that would be, if he's missing any significant time out of it, he's that better. He's a better player.
Oh my God. The door just moved.
33 propels 100 affordable housing laws, including early on, much more involved, particularly the safety over the top, and you'll see right down here. Ever a free personal Mizuki dessert, an entree plus free dessert, just $13. That's a sweet deal. Sure, we weren't able to pick a single goalie. There's a lot of involved.
Are you real? You can do it again. I won't watch.
Strangely, the dummy's hand moved by its own accord, indicating the possession of the toy. The woman claimed that this wasn't a first-timer, and it had done stuff like this in the past. Very creepy. On March 24th of 2024, a Spanish native called Danny was relaxing in his living room. He had just made himself some dinner and was eating it on the sofa whilst watching TV. However, he wasn't going to be allowed to enjoy this perfect moment for very long.
Siguen los sonidos en mi casa muy extraños. ¿Qué coño? ¡Oh! ¡Ah! ¡Joder, tío! Acaba de caer eso. Venía de la cocina. Se lo están viendo, ¿eh? Lo estoy documentando todo. Esto va peor. Joder, tío. Esto es la... ¡Ay!
Strangely, the white chair slid on its own accord, and it was very clear that no strings were attached to the object. As well as this, Danny lived by himself since he broke up with his girlfriend, meaning that no one else was in the building with him that night. In response to the chair, he decided to give it to his friend Alvaro, who took it in a heartbeat because he just moved into an apartment after university. The chair hasn't acted up whilst in his apartment yet, leading Danny to believe that the spirit must have been attached to his house rather than the object. Previously on this channel, we've looked into the haunted life of Jorge Luis, a father of 2 who loved his family to pieces. In the particular video we're discussing today, he was in the kitchen on the phone with his wife, preparing lunch for her and the children's arrival. Suddenly though, the atmosphere grew cold and a sense of emptiness overcame him. He knew that something was wrong but didn't act upon it just in case it triggered his spirit that he had been dealing with for so long to do something. Little did Jorge know that it would act anyway.
Oh, I don't know. Well, you have asked me if everything was going good. And I have told you about, it's okay, but it's just like the vibe here is not normal. I don't like it. It's like a big dark. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Like, oh, you remember that? Like the light of the bedroom? That thing was just like, yeah, for no reason I was just turning on by itself and on and off. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck, hell no!
In an aggressive manner, the baby chair launched across the room towards Jorge, and he was taken very aback by this. He quickly sprinted out of the house and got into his car to go and pick up his family so that he didn't have to deal with the rubbish for any longer. Jorge's ghost has been with him and for years now, and it's very likely you'll hear his name on this channel again. Another person's life we've looked into on this channel is Donna Ayres, and her story is actually quite a sad one. Throughout her life, she had multiple children who all catered for her very well in adulthood, but in the year leading up to the sudden haunting of her house, both her husband and her father died. It was an extremely tough time for Donna, but she was tough and powered through it. It didn't help that one of these past relatives decided to stay by her side though.
Hey guys, just come in and I've just put the camera straight onto the chandelier because it moved. And it was just before I took the picture of the cross on the wall where I don't even know why that shadow's there. But the thought of the Lord watching over me is a good thing. But it did move, and that's why I'm just stood here now. Please, can you do it? No. What the fuck? That's not me, is it, with the camera? Wow. Hang on guys, I'm just going to get a better view because this is amazing. I'm just going to turn the light up a bit as well. Wow. If that's you, please move it again. That is moving. Oh my god, that is moving. Oh, thank you. Wow. That is amazing. There's a couple of little kind of white specks what I'm seeing on the camera here, but that's just the light I think shining off. That's not orbs or anything. But that chandelier is moving. Going crazy. There's nothing even there. What the? I'm sorry if that's come through. But it just did beep for a message. Wow. And if anybody's wondering, the lines on the roof that you can see there, these two lines here, they're the reflection of the chain there. There is nothing, there's nothing there. This is all happening around me. And I just capture it as it goes. I'm not used to it now. Check it out. That is amazing. Well, if that's you, Pop, thank you. that you, Dad? Yeah. Oh, I don't like that. If it is you, Pops, then thank you for letting me know you're here. I don't know what the dark feeling is though that I get every time you're about, because I never got that when you were here. Wow. Wow. I'm just mesmerized. If you guys capture anything around what's going on here, please leave comments and let me know, because obviously I can't see very well. Wow. I'm absolutely mesmerized. How is this possible? Seriously, it just boggles my mind. Well, I'll tell you what, spirits are real. I know that. Oh yeah. That's you, innit, Dad? Just goes mental every time I say it. Wow. What the fuck? I don't know if you guys caught that live, but there was a big bang then. And there's no one above me or below me. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, thank you very much for that. Thank you so much. And I don't know if that was you that was banging, but I'm going to upload now and have a listen and see what I've got with that. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you.
In an unexplainable fashion, the chandelier started moving around by itself, and all of the windows were closed, so it couldn't have possibly been anything to do with the wind. On top of this, once Donna asked if it was her father doing this, the lights started going crazy, which lines up with the video we looked at in a former video. Every instance that Donna asks if the spirit is her father, it goes wild. It doesn't take a genius to connect those dots. The ghost was most definitely that of her deceased dad, and she sees this as both a positive and a negative. At first glance, the presence of him made and still makes Donna feel uncomfortable and cold. However, at least she knows that he will always be with her in her heart. In the following video, a man was walking through the streets of Spain late at night when he came across something that he would have never anticipated. He had been to the local bar with a ton of his mates, but got a call from his girlfriend saying she wanted him home early, so he had to leave by himself at around 11 p.m. The first 5 minutes were extremely relaxing and calm. No cars, no people, and no noise. However, there was something else roaming the streets.
Estoy caminando por la calle, ¿ves? Y estoy llegando a mi casa. Y ven el árbol, ven allá. ¿Lo ven? Acá. Ahí en el medio.
If we zoom in closely at the 6-second timestamp, a very faint shadow figure becomes visible for a split second. Now this was very spooky, and the man, Karim, was stumped. Unfortunately though, this was only the beginning of a horrible saga.
Hay como una figura oscura. Me llamó muchísimo la atención de la cuadra anterior que lo veía. A ver, vamos acá. Mi casa está acá a la vuelta. ¿Eh? No hay nada. No sé.
That scream made Karim jump out of his skin, and I'm sure it made you do the same. Comment if it did or not. Karim sprinted away from the tree as fast as he could and turned many corners. His town was a dodgy one, and he didn't want to take any chances with getting caught by a gang at that time. He ran and he ran, until eventually he was lost.
Estoy sintiendo hace un rato ruido acá atrás. Y no sé qué mierda es. Esto es re oscuro. Ey, hola. Ey. Concha de tu madre. ¿Qué carajo es eso? Ah, una sombra. Y veo cosas por todos lados. Este es un cuarto, la casa de acá atrás es como un cuarto que guardamos cosas, pero estoy sintiendo como un golpeteo. Bueno, no, nada. Ey, puta madre. Todo el tiempo ruido. No.
The abandoned building he came across was full of spooky noises and had a very chilly feeling to it. It was the last place that anybody in Karim's situation would have wanted to end up at. He had already found himself there though, so there was nothing to lose. After a few minutes of hyping himself up and plucking up the courage, he went inside.
¿Se escucha el ruido? Acá está la habitación de mi hija. Puta madre. Ey. Uy, se siente re fría esta habitación. ¿Qué carajo? El ruido viene de acá adentro, me parece. Concha de tu madre, la concha de tu madre. Otra vez, ¿ves? Ruido acá adentro. ¿Qué onda?
Immediately after entering the building, he found the room of a supposed child called Rebecca, and the sheer amount of shivers Karim received upon entering was quote-unquote indescribable. Whilst in the room he could hear the crying of a little girl, the music of a toy, and all of the items started to move by themselves. It wasn't looking too good for him. Once he heard the girl crying, though he was able to piece together the puzzle and understand that Rebecca was the one who was haunting him that night. But the question of why still remained. He stopped recording on his phone and tried to message his girlfriend to see if she could get in the car and come to pick him up. Unfortunately though, he decided to look at the top of the screen and something very harsh hit him. The abandoned house had no service whatsoever. This is when he sat down with himself and made the bravest decision of his entire life. His goal was to find out why this random little girl was tormenting him. With a mission set, he was ready. Similarly to last time, he was led back to the girls' room rather than any other, which leads me to believe that she couldn't leave it after entering. The return of the laughter also hit Kareem, but none of these aspects were on the same level as what he saw when he opened the drawer, the same bear as earlier, and Kareem explained that the aura it had was off the charts, an aura of despair and evil, and just like last time, it turned the lights off and screamed, but this wasn't the end of Kareem's problems. In the next video on this channel, he will have a second appearance and things get much worse. If any of you have learned one fact from this channel, it's that basements are the most common place for our clips to happen in. They are seemingly the perfect locations for evil to brew, and nobody actually knows why. The following video took place in the basement, and is probably one of the weirdest videos we've looked at. The way in which the spirit was triggered was very unique, and I doubt we'll see anything like it ever again.
So, obviously, we've had this ghost for a while. Yeah, we've tried sage. We've tried all that. That's why we kind of made a joke out of it. But, based on all of your advice, I have taken a couple of items that I've inherited from my family's 60-year business in Mexico. And I've inherited a lot of stuff, so one by one, I've been sticking a couple of things in this box in the basement. Now, when my wife said that she whistled today, and she heard something in the basement, so... dude. I'm not really sure if I should... Ooh. We've been stacking up these boxes for the kids to sit and play with. Oh, jeez. No! We'll go down, take a look at what that is tomorrow.
For some peculiar reason, the spirit in question was triggered using the sound of a whistle, which understandably baffled the family living through it. As well as this, as if one cardboard box wasn't terrifying enough for the man, the ghost decided to launch a full stack of them at him, which, while not dangerous, was still showing its true power. What made things even weirder was that the family never experienced anything paranormal again, and this was only a one-day thing. Weird on another level. Spirits are a lot more common than you think, with new paranormal sightings being uploaded to the internet every single day. It's quite terrifying, actually. However, one method that they use which isn't so common is possession. And in the following video, this extremely rare phenomenon was caught on camera. The duo were using something called a K2 meter, which was meant to detect the movement of ghosts in the room and make noise to be sure that the owners knew. The one in this video was going rogue, and they very quickly found out why.
We have captured one of the most scariest videos ever today. I'm still a bit shaken. This is what my dad's camera caught of my reaction. Dad? Dad? Oh my god. Dad? Dad! And this is what my camera caught of my dad.
You're cold. You're roasting. What are you on about?
Got a headache as well. A really bad one for once. Freezing. I'm really chilly.
I'm roasting. You what?
Yeah, hey.
You alright? Dad? 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 Oh my god. Dad? Dad!
The head.
What are you doing? What have you done that? Why have you just shouted that at me?
I haven't shouted. Stop shouting. I've got a headache.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
I haven't shouted.
Yes, you have. You just shouted, get out.
I haven't.
And your face looks so different.
Out of nowhere, the man's eyes started rolling and his face started to look very different. His daughter started beckoning him to speak, but he was just sitting there blankly, not a single word exiting his mouth. That was until he lashed out. Unsurprisingly, the sheer aggression from her father made the daughter terrified, and she didn't really know how to respond to it. At least she found out that it wasn't actually him, which is arguably a better scenario in terms of their relationship. The following video came from the CCTV footage captured in a hotel and was noticed by Paul, a security officer at the facility. This hotel was unlike most others and was specifically designed to cater for elderly, near-death residents who needed a place to stay for a cheap cost closer to their relatives. Outside of the hotel is a graveyard where family members of loved ones who passed away in the hotel could optionally bury them. It was this place that caused the haunting you are about to witness.
Oh, and it says they hang out and dwell around graveyards. And you know the story on that, right? When Mike hired those two native spiritual people to come here and do their stuff, they said it's not the hotel that's haunted, it's the graveyard. Oh. So this service road here where Danny and I used to park, that's the old Stony Plain Road. Do you really think they, when they dug up all the bodies here, that was a good one, moved them over to the graveyard?
They dug up the bodies and what?
Before this hotel...
It doesn't take a zoom in to see the spirit gliding across the corridors by the chairs, acting as a perfect example for what Paul was talking about. Over the past few months, the hotel had been bringing in native men who claimed to be able to cleanse places of spirits, and the staff weren't told why this was. It was at this moment that they managed to piece 2 and 2 together. However, this could have still been a one-off situation where the security camera bugged out or something of the sort. Paul was going to need more evidence if he was to convince the outside world. It was only a matter of time before he obtained this.
See him?
Yeah. I saw it.
They have it there, buddy? Yeah. Okay. Hey, Noel. Yes, sir. What's up?
Oh yeah, I see it again.
Yeah, let's try and sit in the chair. Sometimes he'll stay there for a minute.
He is. How do you know this?
Well, because Danny and I caught him earlier when Danny was in the games room locking up. I freaked the fuck out because I saw it. And then I tried to do a video review to record it, and it wouldn't let me.
Why is it still there?
Well, because if you read about it, they get caught in a vortex. And they linger around for...
Strangely, the ghost sat back down on the chair before the smoke vanished once again. Very weird. Paul visited his boss after capturing the incident and let him know about it. But unsurprisingly, he wasn't surprised. He revealed that the native men were in fact there to rid a ghost from his property, and he had seen it several times at night. On a Sunday evening sometime last year, a man called Jorge was home all by himself when he decided to record a video to his small fan base. He had wanted to be a full-time influencer for years now, but never made any real progress. He would wake up, go to his job at the local store, come home and make videos, but he just couldn't do it anymore. For roughly 2 weeks, he started planning a short script to read out to his fans, to let them know that it was officially the end of his content creation journey, but clearly someone or something wanted him to stay.
So, I am a little exhausted, but I have been doing things back and forth. I have not been having any rest. I've been up and down. So I've been taking care of things around the house, and yeah, I've been... Guys, this is not something that I'm fucking making up. You fucking see this shit? There's literally nobody in here, guys. Literally nobody. You gotta be fucking with me, huh? This is fucking ridiculous. This is fucking insane.
Somehow, items in the kitchen started moving by themselves, and Jorge was taken very aback by this. He quickly walked out of the room and sat in the living room, contemplating what happened, until eventually he concluded his thoughts. It was a sign for him to continue pursuing content creation. Ever since Jorge convinced himself that this is what that was, he hasn't missed an upload since. In a previous video on the channel, we've looked at footage captured by Roland with Me, a YouTuber known for going out of his way to catch spirits in their acts. In this 2-hour-long video, he and his friend Omar decided it would be fun to visit some of the scariest places in America, and every single one of them was haunted. During their journey, they caught several crazy pieces of content and compiled all of the clips into a montage. We're going to take a look at 3 of the most prominent. This first one took place in the living room of the haunted house at around 11 p.m. It's important to note that the clock had been there for over 10 years and was broken, which is the reason for the time being incorrect.
If there is a spirit here that is shaking this clock, let me know. And why are you messing with my clock? Let me know that you are here. Show me some kind of sign. Do something. Did you just make the clock move? Alright, Alright, what was that? Alright, that clock just literally moved. Did you just make the clock move? Show me a sign. Do something. Holy f***. Alright, that time, holy sh**.
Not only did the clock vibrate while suspended on the wall, its hands also spun around very quickly, which made no sense considering the batteries were out. This was nothing compared to some of the other phenomena Roland was going to experience though, and it only got worse from there. After exploring the living room, Roland decided to go to the entrance of the building and investigate if that area of the house was at all active. His friend Omar claimed that it was the easiest part of the building to walk through and that they wouldn't find anything there. However, this statement was proven wrong very fast.
What in the hell?
I know that was not just open. That was shut.
Strangely, Roland started to hear several noises coming from the kitchen, despite his friend, being the only person on this mission with him, being right by his side. With such a high rate of activity in that house, the duo left it very quickly because they managed to obtain enough content for their video at a rapid rate. The next place they visited is the last that anyone would have expected though, Roland's house. If you've watched some other videos of mine in the past, you'd know that Roland's house is extremely haunted, and it does make sense. From the sheer amount of haunted locations he has visited, it's bound for a few of the spirits he encountered to follow him home. The specific clip you're about to see was caught on a camera and took place 4 minutes after Roland and Omar arrived. This spirit must have loved the lavish lifestyle because it was turning the sports car on and off fast. Due to the horror movie scene, grandfather-style clocks are often connected with ghosts and evil, no matter the size. The clock in the clip you're about to see was in this style, and although it may have looked tiny, the fear it could instill into someone was massive. This is about to be proved. The video was recorded in Germany by Jürgen. He had a regular life, working a 9 to 5 and enjoying his evenings with his mates. However, what was about to happen in front of his very own eyes took the regular out of that sentence.
Ich schwöre euch bei Gott, diese Tür von dieser Uhr, ne? Die ist eben einfach aufgegangen. Ich wollte mich gerade schlafen legen, auf einmal ist die aufgegangen. Die ganzen Tage ist die nicht aufgegangen und jetzt gerade hat die sich einfach geöffnet, Digga. Bro, ich kack mir in die Hose fast. Wenn hier irgendwas in diesem Raum ist, dann macht diese Tür auf. Wenn hier irgendein Geist oder so drin ist und du mich hören kannst, dann mach diese Tür auf. Ich schwöre bei Gott, ich schwöre auf meine Mutter, hier ist keine Schnur oder so, nicht, dass ihr denkt, ich verarsche euch, Bruder. Guck mal. Guck mal. Hier ist keine Schnur, nix, ich schwöre auf meine Mutter. Gar nichts. Ich hab Gänsehaut, Gänsehaut, Bruder, Gänsehaut am ganzen Körper, Gänsehaut am ganzen Körper, ich schwöre meine Mutter, guck, oh mein Gott, oh mein Gott, oh mein Gott.
Now, it doesn't take a German speaker to understand what was going on in this video. Despite being sealed, the clock door opened on its own accord, and Jürgen was very fortunate to have filmed the event take place. If he hadn't, then no one would have believed his story, and the clock would still be on the wall to this day. In reality, his girlfriend allowed him to trash it. You may be wondering why this fully grown woman is lying on her bed looking terrified whilst recording her verdict. Don't worry, you'll get your answer. She is called Celeste and recently moved out from her parents into her own rented home. It was a small place, perfect for Celeste, especially since it was local and in case of an emergency, her father or mother could come and help out. When they offered this help, they assumed nothing would happen and they just said it to be nice. Little did they know that just 2 weeks after Celeste moved into the house, an emergency would come, especially one that they couldn't handle. The house had no paranormal background and had great reviews from everyone who called it home. The landlord was extremely proud of it and kept it well. He wasn't a priest though. Of course, a spirit sneaked its way in.
Plebes, no me lo van a creer, pero otra vez son... La neta me estoy muriendo de miedo. Sí, me ven la cara así, pero neta me estoy muriendo de miedo. Es la 1:33, otra vez. De la madrugada. Y se escuchan otra vez cosas. Pero no lo grabé, pues no. O sea, tampoco voy a estar grabando de que no mames. Pero no lo grabé. Pero otra vez se escuchan cosas. Pero la neta, no mames, no sé qué voy a hacer. Ahorita. No. No mames, no sé qué hacer ya, no sé qué hacer. O sea, literal se escuchó donde abrieron una puerta. Le tengo que poner seguro a la puerta de esto. Se lo juro que estoy temblando. No me lo van a creer, estoy temblando. En las piernas estoy... No mames. ¿Qué pedo? Yo creo que... Ay, no. Pero ya me da miedo ir a grabar, la verdad. Pero estoy acostada aquí, literal no hay nadie. No sé qué voy a hacer, me da miedo ir a ver.
For some peculiar reason, Celeste could hear a series of sounds coming from inside, and this obviously freaked her out. She immediately assumed that a burglar had found their way inside the four walls, but fortunately, this wasn't the case. The real scenario was arguably on the same level of severity, though. How did she find out what the real scenario was, you may be wondering? Well, she decided that the best option from here was to search the house with no weapon.
Me da miedo. Puta madre. Ni modo. No mames. Eso no estaba tirado ahorita. El cereal se supone que estaba allá arriba. No mames, la neta, no mames. No, vete a la verga. Plebes, en serio.
Despite the box of food being placed on the fridge once she arrived home, Celeste walked into the room to find it on the floor. This wasn't the bad thing, though. There was absolutely no trace of a break-in, meaning that whatever did this was still there. Definitely a ghost. Instantly after finding out that her first house was haunted, Celeste called her parents to pick her up and sent a letter to the landlord explaining she was leaving. She had to pay a decent fee for exiting the house with such a short notice. But in her eyes, it was more than worth the cost. On July 21st of 2024 in Spain, Juan was chilling out in his bedroom when he was taken by surprise by a series of events he would never forget. He explained after this incident that he would never go to sleep without a nightlight ever again, and the darkness now scares him. He gets called childish.
Mi gente, miren, me encuentro en mi casa, miren que no hay absolutamente nada, y me encuentro como medio raro, no sé qué es lo que está pasando, pero en verdad, no sé qué es lo que está pasando, mi gente, en mi casa hoy. Miren, señores, miren, me siento como que no sé, como que hay algo raro en mi habitación hoy. Por favor, necesito que me ayuden. Hoy siento esto. Miren, estoy solo en mi casa. Papá Dios. Y siento como que se mueve toda la cosa. Oh, Dios mío, se apagó la luz. Necesito a alguien que me ayude. Oh, Dios mío. Señores, ¿quién está viendo esto? Por favor, compártanlo. Miren, estoy solo en mi habitación, pero siento como no sé, como que se caen las cosas. Oh, papá Dios. Señores, miren. La sangre de Cristo tiene poder. La sangre de Cristo tiene poder, señores. Recuerden que me encuentro aquí en mi casa, mi gente, en el cementerio Cristo Redentor.
In fairness, I don't know anybody who wouldn't be in fear of the dark after experiencing such a horrible 5 minutes. Once the saga was over, Juan made sure to pick up every single item that moved and load them into a skip that he hired for a week. He then paid some people to take the skip to the local tip and have every last piece of it burned. In total, there was around 900's worth of clothes put into the skip, but Juan didn't care. That type of money was more than enough to get a ghost out of his life. Setting up cameras in the room of your child is a very popular thing to do nationwide, as parents are in the constant struggle to make sure their children are safe. Most of the time, the craziest thing they catch on these cameras is a baby trying to escape their crib, but sometimes things can get much worse. Meet the Hursts, a young family with one child to their name called Layla. The two parents cared for Layla extremely well and wouldn't wish anything negative to come her way, but clearly a certain spirit disagreed.
What's the matter?
I just want to sleep with you now.
God, what? What's the matter?
Now at first, it was very difficult to see what the problem was here, and it was presumably just a nightmare. However, once the father of the family decided to spend hours scanning the footage to try and find out what upset his little girl, he found the face of a woman right next to the wardrobe. Extremely spooky. This figure could have very easily been crafted by shadows, though as we all know that when people are paranoid, their imagination can run wild. This time that wasn't the case though. For those of you with no idea what orbs are, they are small particles similar to dust that orbit a ghost. In short, if orbs are seen somewhere, then a spirit was in that room. From that night forward, Layla only slept with her parents, and this still stands to date. On December 30th of 2023, a terrifying night happened for a newfound couple. This couple had been dating for just 6 months when they decided they wanted a baby, and 9 months later led to the upcoming recording. One night they heard their baby making noises, as if it was uncomfortable, and the wife prompted the husband to check their baby cam. They were very fortunate to have done so, because if they didn't come to check up on the baby soon enough, things could have gotten much worse. Take a look. That is one of the most disturbing videos on this channel due to how young the victim actually was. The spirit didn't even have the decency to be gentle. It completely tugged the poor boy. Now it's unusual that we tell a story in unchronological order on this channel, but in order to get true context for the baby video, we'd need to review a clip uploaded by the same family 8 days prior. Have a watch. Unsettling noises could be heard in the baby's room, and the parents just nudged it off as the construction workers next door caused a commotion. If only they acted sooner, maybe the first clip would never have happened. On January the 17th of 2008, Kaiden, a young adult at the time, had recently started renting a new house for him, his girlfriend and their 3 pets. The house had no unusual backstory or anything that would really deter a family from moving in. However, reputations can easily come to an end. It was night 4 in the house at around 6 p.m. when the most peculiar evening of Kaiden's life would occur, and things got terrifying, very terrifying.
Phoebe. Hey. Phoebe. Where are you, girl? Phoebe. Phoebe. Hey, what's the matter, girl? Come here. What's the matter? Are you okay? Come here. Come on up. Phoebe, come on. Hey. What's the matter? Hey, come here. Come on. It's okay. What's the matter, girl? Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on up. Want a treat? Come on. Come here, peeps. Want a treat? Phoebe, what's the matter, girl? What's the matter? You okay? What do you hear? What is it? What is it, girl? Come here. Phoebe, come here. You okay, girl? What's the matter? What's the matter, honey? Do you hear something? Phoebe? Honey? Are you okay? What the hell was that? What is that?
After hearing banging noises from up in the attic, Kaiden decided that he had to go and check what was up there in case of an intrusion. Since the pets were acting strange, it was likely that they could smell or hear someone that he couldn't, and so Kaiden wisely took the signs.
What? What the hell? There's definitely something up here. What?
Strangely, once Kaiden entered the attic, it was completely trashed, and he was devastated as a mess that big would not be easy to clean up. However, at the time, he was pleased that he found nothing up there, but still suspicious. It was when items started moving in front of his very own eyes that things started to become extraordinarily freaky. It's important to note that the light switch for the attic is inside it, so when they turned off, it was impossible for Kaiden to have done so. Something was up there, but he'll never know what. In the following video, a single man called Toby was getting ready to go to sleep when he supposedly noticed something looking at him through the window. Accompanying this sighting was the sound of a lady crying, which disturbed Toby for obvious reasons, and it definitely showed with his reaction.
Okay, look, I'm really tripping out now. Something was looking at me through the window, and I heard that lady crying again, coming out of the kitchen. I'm freaking the fuck out. I am fucking tripping. Really creeping me out. I ain't going by the basement door, fuck that. Fuck that. There's something in this house. There's something in here. I'm telling you. Oh, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no.
Now, in usual paranormal situations, the ghost would do something harmless but spooky, like move a chair to the side. However, in this crazy scenario, a knife was thrown at Toby, which could have caused some serious damage had it connected. Ghost experts theorized that the spirit wasn't trying to harm Toby, but just scare him. This explains why it delayed until he stepped back from the kitchen to launch such a dangerous item. Regardless, this is one of the most dangerous ghost sightings witnessed, and I doubt anyone would want to switch situations with this man, especially considering that this was only the beginning. After a long night struggling to sleep after the knife situation, Toby considered attempting communication with the ghost and eventually came to the conclusion that he would. He took out his TikTok camera and went downstairs to the living room, and then the moment of truth happened.
Monday, I think it's like the 5th or something. And about 6:30 in the morning. A little handle over there off my grinder come across the floor. It's my little pipe, my little billy club I keep around. It come rolling across the floor this morning. Been pretty quiet lately. I thought I heard voices earlier, but I wasn't sure. It's been pretty quiet for real till now, until a few minutes ago. And we'll see, I guess. Are you here this morning? What do you want? Can you talk to me? Let me know you're here. Okay, so you are here. What do you want? I'm not scared of you. Show yourself. Show yourself to me. I want to see who you are. No, I want to see who you are. Leave me alone. If you can't show me who you are, I want you to leave my house. Show me your face. Show me your face or leave my house. I demand it. No, go. Show me who you are or leave my house. I'm not afraid of you. What do you need? What do you want? Why do you keep bothering me? Are you still here? Hello? I'm not here to harm you, and I do not want you to harm me. Just tell me what you want. Who are you? Do you want me to leave this house? Is this your house? Do you want me to leave? Do you want me out of your house? No, because this is my house. I want you out of my house. If you can't show yourself, I want you to leave.
At first, the ghost cooperated with Toby and continuously moved a metal pole across the room to let him know it was listening. However, after some time, it clearly got bored and stopped entertaining his curiosity. The only sign of the spirit still being present in the later section of the video was when a small shadow appeared in the corner of the room. It's highly possible that something else cast this, but in the event that it was the ghost showing itself, Toby was in for a long day. Towards the end of the video, he claimed that he would upload more content of the sort and try to keep his followers updated on the experience. To our dismay though, he never updated anyone again, and no one knows why. Now, the next paranormal occurrence showcased on this video is actually the follow-up to a video that we've already covered on the channel. In that video, I explained how he searched 20 minutes for the cause of the knocking at his door, and this is the footage of him doing so.
Oh my god.
Weirdly, he found nothing lying around in the forest, despite the knocking being really loud and in a linear pattern. No animal is capable of doing this, so it's very odd that no person was discovered. As well as this, once the man arrived back at the house, his bedroom light was on all of a sudden, and a shadowed figure was standing behind the blinds. Quickly, he ran inside to confirm that there was an intruder, but to his dismay, nothing. This is when Sam really started to become convinced that a ghost was on his property. However, he was an evidence kind of guy, and without any, he couldn't be too sure. With time came his wish, though. A few days after the prior incident, Sam was watching television with his cat when the power completely cut out. He lived in a relatively rural area, and this kind of stuff was normal, so nothing was out of the ordinary though, until he realized the rest of his area still had their lights on. With this knowledge, he needed to investigate the power box, and things got creepy fast.
I just lost power in my house. I looked down the road and I saw lights on, so I think it's just me. I'm gonna go down to the breaker box and see what's up. You stay here, I'm gonna go get the power back on, okay? Everything looks okay. I guess I'm gonna have to call the power company. These were closed. These were 100% closed. I never leave these open. If there's someone or something here, I want you to prove it to me. I want you to close one of these doors. Come on! Oh, if I'm being honest, I'm glad nothing happened. Holy sh!
Once Sam decided to go upstairs and phone up the power company, loud banging noises started happening downstairs, and he assumed it was the cat. He quickly ran down the stairs to the source of the noises to find both the washing machine and the dishwasher flung open. This had no explanation. It was a ghost, and he knew it. Immediately, he beckoned the spirit to do it again and got excited too soon when it didn't at first. However, milliseconds after his victory call, the machine's door closed on its own accord. The following family had only been living in their house for 8 months and had never experienced anything supernatural in their life. They were all religious and had God on their side, which left them strong in the sense of not getting haunted. Despite this power though, on a random Tuesday, things got quite weird.
Dude, you hear that, right? Yeah. Alright guys, I have to start recording. We just moved in here last summer, And we keep hearing these things. Oh. Shit. Dude, you hear that, right? Yeah. Don't tell me it's just me. That's ridiculous, man. I don't know.
During a match of Street Fighter against his girlfriend Kayla, he started to hear aggressive banging noises coming from the kitchen and got fed up, so went to check. Once he arrived into the kitchen, he scanned the room and found nothing before checking the garden, but this is when the paranormal activity was confirmed. Suddenly, another bang rang around the house, and with a fast reaction, the cameraman turned back into the kitchen to find 2 cabinets open. It's clearly caught on camera as he walks towards the garden that the cabinets were closed beforehand, which leaves little explanation as to why this happened. Feel free to try and solve it in the comments. Unless you put a ghost though, you're incorrect, because this wasn't the only clip that the man captured in the house. Just a few hours after halting the previous recording, the strange noises returned, and after some investigating, an apparition was caught.
Alright, I have to start recording again. I know I just heard something. You guys are seeing this, right? Gotta be joking me. What? You gotta be joking me. Oh, jeez.
Living in the house with the cameraman were 4 other people, so it was possible that the person behind the door was one of the children. However, it's extremely unlikely that the kid was fast enough to get away from the door as quickly as the apparition did, leaving no other explanations barring the supernatural. On October 16th of 2023, a father of 1 daughter heard crying from her room, so he decided to go and check on her. After searching the room, he found that there was nothing to be scared of and told his daughter it was probably a fly before going to bed. When he woke up the next morning though, he decided to check the cameras just to be safe in case something truly did happen. And beyond his craziest beliefs, something did. The lights in the girl's closet started flashing rapidly to the point that they managed to wake her up. We can see her climb from the bed to go and investigate the room, but the footage cuts before anything happens. The father claims that nothing happened from that point onwards, at least during that specific night. Over the next few weeks, he would closely monitor the cameras of the girls' rooms and relocate them every time something suspicious was caught. The following clip shows one of those instances. If listened to closely, a small knock could be heard, and after contacting experts, the family discovered that it came from underneath the girl's bed. It was at this moment that the family considered this spirit a threat, and eventually they would leave for good. It's unknown whether or not this move was successful.